Hi, I'm Kaia from KJT Productions. In preparation for the creation of our thriller film, I've studied films and TV to get vital inspiration in terms of the characters, storyline, setting and much more. This video contains the inspiration we have drawn from the thriller film Leon the Professional. Leon is a professional hitman in New York. He lives a normal and inconspicuous life until he takes in a 12-year-old girl, Matilda, whose parents have just been killed. She takes refuge in his apartment, and at her request, Leon teaches her the methods of his job so she can take revenge on the people who killed her family. This storyline, although different from ours in the way that the young child character is present, has inspired our storyline as we've taken Leon's role of the hitman and made it our own. We've also been inspired by the idea that Leon lives an inconspicuous and normal life outside of his job, as our character has a wife, a nice house and car, and he is a seemingly average person. The storyline of Leon the Professional is also full of violence and action, which we hope could be replicated in our film. We've drawn inspiration from the action scenes of this film and the fast-paced storyline. In terms of character profiles, Leon is a hitman who keeps himself to himself. He comes across as normal but has an air of mystery about him. He's almost too quiet and thoughtful. He is the complete opposite of the typical killer, often pictured caring for plants and drinking a carton of milk. He is a very serious man, barely seeing him smile in the whole film, yet he cares very much throughout the film for the young girl he looks after. It is almost like Leon leads a double life. On one hand he's this thoughtful and caring man, and on the other he is a brutal killer. Leon's character has given us huge inspiration for our hitman character, Edward, in our film. We want Edward to come across as normal but also mysterious and serious, and have a double life much like Leon. We will attempt to make a clear distinction between his home life and work life. Our actor therefore will not smile in the film and will often look deep in thought to create the same air of mystery. We also will attempt to avoid a lot of dialogue, as Leon's character has inspired us through his simple and quiet use of language. However, we want to make it clear in our film that Edward has a caring side towards his wife, much like Leon does towards Matilda. The setting of this film is in New York City, mainly in the flat which Leon lives, and also the hotel where the main action takes place as Leon and Matilda attempt to kill the people who killed her family. After being inspired by this, we decided to also have two main settings: the house where our hitman lives, where he leads one life, and the house where he murders his victim. We want to make our character seem very rich, which is the complete opposite from Leon the Professional, but we think this will add to his hitman characteristics. Therefore, we're using our friend as the hitman, Edward, and his house and car as the setting for where Edward lives, as they come across as very expensive. Just like in Leon the Professional, we are also using a second setting where the characters are killed, which will be the driveway of another house. In terms of camera shots, Leon the Professional contains a lot of close-ups and extreme close-ups, especially of the hitman himself. We have replicated this in our storyboard, as Edward is often shot close-up or just his eyes are filmed. For example, there's a close-up of his face after his flashback, or the shot of just his eyes in his rearview mirror. Leon the Professional also contains establishing shots which identify the places that the film is set, for example the restaurant where the opening scene takes place. The idea of establishing shots is something we've got in our film, as we've drafted a shot of Edward's house and driveway as he leaves for work in this style. It is the perfect shot to show our character's wealth and status, as it is set in a large house with a nice car and drive, and you can see it all through the establishing shot. Leon also contains use of point-of-view shots, specifically in the scene where Matilda's family is killed and she is outside Leon's door begging for refuge. Point-of-view shots from both Matilda and Leon's perspective are used, which enables the audience to be in both characters' shoes and feel empathy for the girl, as you can see both characters' facial expressions as they look at one another. We have chosen to use a point-of-view shot a few times in our film, as we think it amplifies the feelings of the characters and makes the audience feel and empathise with how they are feeling. These key shots to the film Leon the Professional will work well in our film, especially as they have similar plot lines. To conclude then, we've gathered a lot of inspiration from this film, especially in the area of characters, as Leon is very similar to our idea of Edward the hitman. We're also going to use point-of-view shots and establishing shots much like in this film, as it works so well and adheres to the thriller genre.